Greetings, Supers family. Once again, welcome to another exciting edition of the Red Mark podcast. My name is Brighton, and I'm going to be your host for this edition. Today, I'm thrilled, if not excited, to be hosting Sekuru wangu, Shumba. Pastor Nduku is in the building. We're going to be sipping and talking. So before I introduce the discussion for today, allow me to welcome our host, Pastor Nduku. Sekuru Magadi.
Thank you, Manungo Msukuru wangu. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right.
Shukuru. It's good to be here.
We are so excited to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, where we discuss and we sip. This is the Red Mark podcast. So today we are going to be talking about our culture.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand the culture is big. The word culture means a lot of things, but we're going to be precise. We're going to be talking about marriage.
Okay.
But precisely, we're going to be talking about lobola, the payment of bride price. That's what we're going to be talking about. Okay. And my understanding is that that's your area. As a pastor, you've come a long way from with these things, and you are very much acquainted with the issues of culture. So I think it's our today.
Okay.
But before we do that, may you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
First of all, as he has just highlighted, Ndrise Kuruake. That's the first thing. Then I'm a pastor. I've been with Harvest House for quite some time.
Okay.
I'm a pastor. I'm married. My husband of one wife.
Hallelujah.
I have 3 kids. 15 years in marriage.
Oh.
Yes, I'm legally married.
Atina zera ni mseku.
Thank you, mzukuru wangu.
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
This is beautiful. Now we're going to be talking about Rora with a person who's been married for 15 years. I understand Magabisa Rora.
Yeah, sure. Definitely.
Really, Magabisa.
I wouldn't be here.
Can you tell us a little bit about Rora, the settlement?
Oh, yes.
What's the significance of Rora in our African culture?
Okay. Now, Rora is a legal way in terms of our culture. When you come to marry, a man comes to marry a woman in a cultural setup. That's legal in terms of our culture. You know, you come to pay a bride price together with your team. You come to negotiate. You come to pay lobola, so that the parents have got a consent, which they give. They then give you your wife after you have done the rights, the marital rights that are expected of you at the time that you come. So you don't just grab a woman, take her home, and make babies. You've got to formalize it with the parents. Go there, pay the bride price. You are then allowed, you are called a father then. Yes, that's the understanding that we have in terms of marriage in our culture. Yes.
That's good. I think that's a very beautiful insight.
Oh, yes.
My greatest takeaway from what you've just said is that it was a legal way traditionally.
Yeah, sure.
Where people had to legalize their marriage by payment of lobola.
Oh, yes.
Before the advent of the legal system that we have now.
The current legal system that we have now.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So should we continue with the Rora settlement when we now have the modern legal system?
Okay. When we continue to pay lobola, what we are simply saying is we are seeking parental consent for us to get somebody's child. And when we choose to continue, what we are simply doing is we are not evading the parental blessing. You know, when you get married and a parent is happy, he does not just send away the child. He blesses the child. If I take you to the biblical setting, of course, so to shift from the cultural setup.
Okay.
When the servant of Abraham goes to take a wife for Isaac, the brothers, they bless the child. They bless Rebecca and say, go out there and be blessed, be a mother of thousands and millions. You know, that is necessary. It's an aspect where when a girl is going from her home, she has to carry blessings with her to the groom or to the groom's family. So when we evade or we avoid the family, we are actually doing that to our own peril. We are running away from a crucial blessing. You know, Rebecca goes to be a mother of many nations, not by the blessing of Abraham, but by the blessing that the brothers or the parents give to her. They actually pronounce, go there and be a mother of millions and thousands, which she goes there to fulfill. So that is a very critical element. When you are marrying and you are going there to pay lobola to do the rites that are going to satisfy the parents' needs, you are doing that to also get a blessing from the other side. So blessings are not coming from one side. They are coming from both ends.
Okay.
Yes. So if you just snatch away and run, you are snatching away an empty basket. You'll get nothing. If at all you can get it, the least you get very little because there's no blessing there. So how good it is when a man brings a blessing from his father and also a woman brings a blessing from her father. Double blessing. The family goes.
Oh.
Yes. So I think it is noble to just continue paying bride price. After all, it's not evil.
Okay.
Yes.
Ndimbo kubata mromo mbishana shumba.
Yes.
So what are we saying with this? With men of today, vanongotora mwana wavanhu, they just snatch away the lady votoenda naye kumba kwavo, atova mukadzi wavo vakutobikirwa tea without the parents' consent, kana kumba kwacho havaendi, kana tsvakirai kuno havaendi. So are we saying that there is no blessing such kind of a marriage set up?
Yeah, I want to say there is hardly any blessing there, Mzukuru, because every parent, you know, yes, because every parent, you know, it does not seek necessarily payment, but at least a mutual understanding.
Okay.
Some agreement. You know, you are taking my baby girl. Mm-hmm. I've been with her since birth. Mm-hmm. I've raised this child. And at the end of some time, you just snatch her and go for good. That's without grace. It is just necessary that we honor the parents. We honor those that have been with this child. You know, we say there's no blessing because each time they are talking ill about you, you are getting a subtraction of what you should be having.
Oh.
Yes, because you are not there. And in our culture, the mothers continue to complain, and that is a negative aspect on your side. The parents, the fathers also continue to complain. He has not brought anything. He has not come to formalize the marriage. I don't know. And some parents even get to disown their own child. So I think it is necessary that we formalize this thing. You run away with somebody's child. You, in the end, if it so happens that anything that is unforeseeable takes place or happens, you need to easily go back to the parent and discuss it, you know? So if anything happens that is negative, that's when you start to wake up and see that indeed I should have made a good relationship with my in-laws.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So in a way, you talked about the formalization of the marriage setup as in like finding that blessing of the parents before you take their child.
Oh, yes.
So traditionally, marriage wasn't meant to enrich the in-laws. There was no way because we have seen situations whereby vanhu vakutodhurisa.
Okay.
Havana vakutodhura.
Okay.
Kudhura sekuri zvokuti munhu anotozoona kuti beta
ndiitize
kakubhadhara roho rakandimbogara naye tozozviona kana akafa tozozviona batambogara because mwana ari kudhura.
Yes. You know, it's not a new phenomenon though. It used to be there. It was one way which was also permissible of marrying, where one would do msengabere, kutora munhu enda naye kana kutizisa, you know, where you then have to come back not later than a year. You'd as soon as possible try to notify the parents that you've got their child.
Okay.
But the aspect of the parents now trying to make money, it is not of our culture. Of course, cultures differ from place to place.
Very true. I've heard kuti vanzi vekumasvingo vanodhura.
Yes, I've also heard that. But I believe when they said chirora naive kumatongo, it means when you are in a masvingo, kuti madzimai edu anodhura kusvika papi. So it wouldn't be expensive because to your sister, you charged almost the same.
Okay.
But when you are from a different cultural setup, like from the Ndebele, they are not that expensive. They understand that lobola is a relationship.
Shout out to the
marriage becomes a relationship, so they don't sell, so to speak, their women, their children. But when you go to places like you are saying, the Shona, the Mashingo side, you go from a different place and you go to marry in Mashingo. You just have to dance to the tune. You do as Romans do when you're in Rome.
Okay.
Yeah, you go there, you love their child. You dance to their tune. Yes. So if it's their standard, it is not necessarily a new phenomenon then. It means it's their standard. When they're in the Mashingo, they will tell you, we need so much.
Okay.
And it's more of a standard. It cuts across. It is not new. It is only new to somebody that's coming from a different region. You get there, you are shocked. This sounds too much. But also, we might have unscrupulous people that tend to want to make money.
Okay.
We have seen it also with guardians. Some guardians where parents are not there. The guardians make it difficult for some children to get married. They are predatory in approach.
Okay.
They really want money. A biological father might not take it that way. He is happy that my child is getting married. Probably that's when the new law comes in, the new marriage act, where it then says when somebody gets 18, he can marry without the consent of a guardian or a parent. I believe that the law was trying to address such societal anomalies.
Okay.
Such societal anomalies where, like, for instance, we've mentioned that some guardians taking advantage of the absence of the biological parent then get to demand more or to demand too much, to want to say, no, Mwananda Kamchenget, I suffered with this child. I need my money back. A biological parent would not do that. I also believe that law also wanted to address such situations where maybe it was a child-headed family. There are no parents to talk about. Everyone is not in picture. They're just children. They grow up, they want to marry, and it becomes, they go in circles, in rounds. They don't get enough help. So the law then comes in to address such, to authorize them. If you want to get married, you are adults, you can make decisions. So this law did not come to the detriment of our culture, no.
Okay.
It came to complement the culture. It came to address that isolated situation, where we have isolated circumstances, where children are not in a good position to be married in a situation where the parent is coming to consent.
Okay.
We also have cultural tendencies that try to inhibit marriage or to try to force the child to get married to somebody that she's not in love with. It's a cultural aspect that this kind of a law comes to address. It also comes to address religious anomalies that also try to suppress and oppress independent choices in children. They get to 18, already there is a man. Already there is a man, 18 is far. Maybe at 14, already there is a man, an old man, 60, that is supposed to get that child. But at 18, the child then decides on her own. Okay, so I think this kind of a law comes to address such circumstances, and I think as people in our culture, we might think that it is meant to disarm us as elders, but I don't think so. It comes to address other circumstances that have been raised in the society, but it doesn't inhibit parental consent. It doesn't inhibit it. It only says if they are adults, they may do without parental consent, which means it's giving leeway to those that have no parents or those that are in such circumstances that I've explained. But if all things being equal, this law does not apply to you. You've got your parents, there are no problems, they consent. Then you get married.
Okay.
Yes.
But by removing the RORA part in our marriage, in our marriages, legally, are we not westernizing our marriage setup?
Okay.
To the effect that we are removing the value of our marriages?
Okay.
Maybe that probably might promote divorces where people can just marry, fire the person, get married again, you divorce, are we not leading to the increase in divorce rate? Are we not actually westernizing? I'm glad you've addressed the amendment that was done to our Marriage Act in 2022.
Oh, yes.
So are we not going to see the scourge in our divorce rates?
Okay. First of all, I want to highlight that lobola is something that we still admire. It's something that is still very necessary. And the impact of it, like as you highlight correctly, that when somebody goes out there to work for the lobola, the bride price, and get to pay it, it gives him a sense of ownership of the marriage.
Okay.
You suffered for this marriage. You worked for it, and you can't just let it die down.
You went the
just
Jacob
like
way.
That. Yes, you went the Jacob way. 7 years plus 7 more years, working hard for a woman. And you can't just let go in a day. Sure, Jacob wouldn't do that. Yes, so I'm really in support of the lobola. We are saying it is good to formalize, to legalize, to get parental consent. Go there, you also get a blessing when you do that.
Okay.
Apart from you being an owner of what you have done, you are owning your sweat. You are also getting a blessing. You are also becoming the pride of your in-laws. They are happy about you. They talk about you. They love you because you have done something. You've honored them by coming to their home to marry their daughter. It is very critical.
Okay.
Yes. So coming back now to the other side, people that are not paying lobola. Okay, let's get to the law. The law does not inhibit paying of lobola. It is saying it is only authorizing some people that will benefit from the law. Specifically those people that I've spoken about, the people that are disadvantaged, the people that are raised by guardians who are going to be predatory in nature. People that I've seen people that would choose that better there be no marriage. If people are not bringing me the amount that I want. Here I want 10,000 or else there's no marriage. It brings us back to the case that Solomon presided over, the case of the 2 prostitutes.
Okay.
And 1 child that had died.
Okay.
The one that owned the child, the owner of the child, came out clearly by protecting the child. Let the child live. Let the child live. The other one who did not own the child said, no, sure, cut into two pieces so that we share.
That was great.
But so I'm trying to say, if you are a father, a biological father, you wouldn't come to a situation where you say 10,000 or there's no marriage. I want so much or there's no marriage. So the real owner of the child wouldn't do that. Would let the marriage live. Let the marriage be. That's the kind of attitude that we want. So the law comes to address a situation like that of that woman that says cut her into piece.
Those extended family members that want to take advantage
rather there be nothing
of the circumstances.
Something like that. So we are saying the law, when it came in, it did not come notoriously to try and destroy our culture. It came to address situations that were known, though isolated, though few in nature, but they came out, and to the extent that we then realized, or the people then realized, it is necessary in certain situations to go without parental consent.
Okay.
That would make the marriage live than prohibit marriage on account of us needing to have more money. Or, some situations when a child has been raised in the other family, not in the father's family. She has been raised in the other family. Come marriage time, there's no consensus. They don't come up with a date because they are not agreeing. Should the father be here? Should the mother be here? Should there be this? Should there be that? They don't come to a consensus to agree to say, for the sake of this marriage, let's just agree and settle our squabbles later.
Okay.
They don't do that. So meanwhile, time is moving. And in the end, the groom that is coming from an organized family will end up giving up or rejecting it, to say, no, as long as there's no order in your family, I can't be there.
Patwita shaisano. Okay.
Yes. So would that law not be dear in such circumstances, where we say you guys are 18 or more, you can make decisions, including decisions to get married. You can come, you formalize your marriage, it's legalized, you go on. When they've settled their squabbles, we then come and say, here we are, we've come to pay bride price. And some families, they never come to a situation of agreement. It's a no, it's a no, it's a no. It's a no forever. So as I have said...
Yeah, true. I've actually I've heard people vachichema vachiti dei baba vangu chao vanga varipo izvi zvakadai zvinomboitika izvi.
Oh, yes.
Vasikana vachichema baba vangu vanga varipo zvakadai so zvingadai zvinomboita sei
zvinomboitika
zvingadai zvisina kumboitika.
Yes.
But now the payment of lobola has been attacked left, right and center.
Okay.
by feminism and some other ideologies that see it as exacerbating gender inequalities.
Okay.
They go to the point of saying the fact that we attach an economic value on a human being, we are actually reducing that human being to a commodity on the market. Okay. So what's your take on that one?
Okay, from a Christian perspective, no one would take a wife free of charge. Like we have an example, if we want to be that biblical, like we mentioned, Isaac had to pay something. The father sent the servant to collect Rebekah with gold, with silver, with bracelets, with camels. So he went there, he paid something. Then he brought a wife home. David says in a different setup, he says, I can't take something for the Lord which costs me nothing. Okay. So if you're going to take a woman that costs you nothing, we are coming back to that situation where we said, would you then value the marriage which has costed you nothing? When you go by the road, by the streets in the night, there are ladies of the night. They'll charge you something, certainly. But they are
Okay.
short time people.
Okay.
They charge you something.
Touch line.
To touch line, yes.
All right.
You are charged something.
Okay.
$1 per length of a session. Now here you are taking.
Okay.
Now here is the mother of your children, the bone of my bones, that you are taking for a lifetime.
Okay.
Yes. Would you be pleased to take her for a song? So it definitely puts value to the child, to the woman that you are taking. You are actually demonstrating commitment. You are really committing to this marriage. So you are not just snatching it away, So I think bride price, when we are paying it, we are not putting the woman at a disadvantage.
Okay.
Because the husband and the wife are not up for competition. To say we are not balanced, we must be equal, so you don't have to pay lobola, this and that. That is a wrong rhetoric. What we must uphold is, one, it's a good cultural value, which has been practiced in several cultures. It is also a biblical principle that is also practiced there. So even if we were to combine the two, would still agree to pay lobola.
Okay,
yes.
I understand.
Yes.
You know where they're coming from?
Uh-huh.
They're actually saying it's a transaction that is happening between males.
Okay.
It's actually perpetuating patriarch system, where the male figures from the groom side and the male figures from the bride side are the ones transacting here. We have a situation whereby women are not very much involved.
Okay.
It's a transaction where maybe some will go on to say it's a transfer of rights, where the rights of a woman lies with your father before she's married. Okay. And when she gets married, those rights are transferred to the men. I've actually had the situation whereby you don't have a decision on the number of children that we're going to have.
Okay.
Because in Visa Marian, Yangu. And the people are actually, still living in very toxic relationships whereby they are being abused. Gara,
okay.
So what's your take? How do we now reconcile what you've been saying and this situation whereby men are now taking advantage of the fact that I can abuse.
Okay.
My rights.
Okay. All right. Starting from the abusive man, the man that is abusive is there in the marrow. Whether he has paid lobola, he's abusive.
Or not.
Whether he has not paid, he's still abusive. So that is, they're trying to hide behind a finger to say, because we married you. Even if they would not have paid something, they would still abuse. Okay. You are the wife here. I'm the husband. I'm the head here. You say nothing. They always say that. Okay? We also have men that have not been blessed enough to be able to pay something, that love their women so dearly, that their women don't even think of leaving. The relatives will say, but murumu wako anachaka badara, anachata abvisa, why are you still there? But anondida singait. So it's neither here nor there. Are you in it? In the marriage, are you there for the marriage? Are you in with your all in that marriage? Okay. Then also, to say that transaction is a man-to-man affair, I don't think it's true, because when people get married, there is a constitution of men, women, girls as well. The older ones and the younger ones, they are also there. The tetes are there. The Maininis are there. The my gurus as well are there. So it basically means that it's not a man-to-man affair. It is not something that happens by the crawl outside the yard. It is something that happens in the kitchen. Culturally, marriage takes place in the kitchen. The hut, that hut.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
what it symbolizes is the mother is there. The mother is the owner of the kitchen. It is taking place right under a roof. So nobody's running from the mother. And also, if you check the list that they generate, there is actually mama's money. You know, they call it mafukidza dumbu. It's specifically assigned to her. That's her money.
Okay.
You know, so that then means that it's not a man-to-man affair. It's a family-to-family affair. Okay? I don't know if you get me there.
Okay.
That it's a family-to-family affair.
It's a family-to-family affair.
Yes. So it's not man-to-man. Right? Also coming to whether...
But vana mai havasi kupiwa yekunonga kapasta.
Vana mai?
Yekunonga inongoperera, yedare iri kungopiwa, yedare iri kungoperera kunana baba. Vana mai havasi dare.
Okay. Dare rana baba rinononga mari yaro. Rwanono divide out. Vana tete nana mai nini nana mai guru vanononga yavo. Mama vanotora yavo inonzi mafukidza dumbu. Handiti? Quite a chunk, a big chunk of money. That means everybody is involved.
Inini mkwasha nchingopera chete.
Iwo mkwasha unongochifamba kani. Wauya kuzotora chinhu chako chakakosha. Kana tikangosvika tikati mkwasha waisa yekutanga yainonzi vhura muromo, wobva wataura nyaya yako, tobva tangoti yendiro, tora mukadzi wako uende. Unosvika ikoko wotanga kugaya kuti chandapiwa chinenge chidhura ichi. Mukadzi kwaye wandangonzi imboendai munogarisana, you know. But when you are charged moderately, you are also, you feel the pride. Takanorora tabvako, tatora munhu wedu, handiti? But now challenge iri kubuda like the question you are posting yekuti pane madzimai asiri kuzvifarira kuti vanhu vauye kuzobhadhara kuroora kumba kwedu. Toda kungogara in the name of equality. You can also be equal. Kana toda kuve equal. Wakaroorwa.
Okay.
I know kuti nyaya equality inenge apply ma different constituencies. But as far as the Bible is concerned, the man is simply the head, and also the woman is supportive, is a helper.
Yeah, maybe coming to that.
Mm-hmm.
How can now Christians balance the respect of the Shona tradition, maybe of the African tradition? Let me put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
How can they balance the respect of the tradition, precisely Rora and the other elements, with the Christian principles? Do we have situation whereby the Rora payment is violating Christian principles?
We are trying to marry the Christian values and the cultural values. Is that the question?
Yeah. Should Christian now embrace Rora?
Okay.
Embrace it without any fear of violating Christian principles?
I think there's no problem, because obviously for us to be Christians, we are Christians in a certain cultural setup. You know, Christianity is worldwide.
It's a faith.
It's a faith.
Okay.
It doesn't go about changing everything about everybody. You know, our culture is not demonic, so to speak. There are elements of our culture that we can look at and say these are very archaic and we can't keep them. We can't be killing twins again, because, you know, it was part of a culture, but it was very negative. We get to be awakened. We are now knowledgeable. Such things we eradicate completely.
Thank you, Pastor. We are going to come back to that after the short break. Thank you, Sipas family. We are going to be back. Stay tuned. We are going to be back after the short break.
Ngithengiziboza namawalawala isiphithiphithi dlalisela namavulavala ipusha ingene khishishonilanga nabo nomalanga ngenze plan ingxolisela inkatakata izinto sa overseas internationally get fabulous ngithelele singalakata hayi sengibona amabhelidi ngihlene namayalayala ngithengiziboza namawalawala isiphithiphithi dlalisela namavulavala ipusha ingene khishishonilanga nabo nomalanga ngenze plan ingxolisela inkalakata izinto sa overseas internationally get
talking about how to reconcile now Christian principles and without ignoring our culture, or to say respecting our culture, our traditional culture, without violating Christian principles. That's what we're talking about.
Okay. Now, I was pointing to the fact that Christianity does not exist in a vacuum.
Okay.
You know, we are first of all people that are raised in our culture. Then we become Christians, you know. And I was saying Christianity is across the whole world, which means Christianity
cuts across cultures.
It cuts across cultures. So it has to be handled in such a way that it does not come at loggerheads with our culture. It does not come to become an enemy of our culture. Yes, but we are saying to reconcile the two, we have to approach everything with wisdom and with knowledge. So I'm saying there are certain cultural aspects that are negative. They are negative not only to the Christian community, but they're also negative to the general community itself. Like I mentioned that at one time, twins were a taboo. They would be killed.
Yeah.
Because they were a taboo.
Yeah, I've read about that.
Yes, but a time came when people got knowledge. They became knowledgeable. We can't then perpetuate that which we know that it is a false belief. To say when we have twins, we have a taboo here, we have something very negative which we must not keep. Okay? So such tendencies, we cut them out and throw them away. Not only in the church, but also in the general society.
Okay.
So we are saying we will merge things from our culture which do not contradict our faith or our beliefs as Christians. So that will make us comfortable in any setup or cultural setup. Okay? We are not saying Christians will accept everything, but we are saying there are things that do not even threaten the existence of Christianity. Why shun them? Why criticize them? In fact, most of our beliefs, cultural beliefs, they go hand in hand with that what the Bible says. I believe that the elders were actually inspired. You know, their teachings are not even negative at all. They raised us. We became who we are. We honor our parents. The Bible speaks of honoring your parents.
Yeah.
We honored those that are older than us. It's a cultural phenomenon, which we also do in Christianity. So we keep those together. Then now coming to marriage, which we are talking about, when we are required to pay lobola in our culture, we get into the Bible and see that men of God would also pay lobola. Jacob would work for the wives. Isaac also got married. So we merge the two together and see that there's nothing wrong. Okay. So why not continue with the cultural way or the cultural phenomenon of paying lobola? Because biblically it's also correct.
Okay.
We'll go to the lobola setup now and say what out of this is kind of offside, which we may try and erase or suppress, so that everything else that is not negative, which does not affect our Christianity negatively, we sort of stamp it to say let it be.
Okay.
Yes. For example, when they charge you vuramuromo to say give us something so that we can hear your issue. You go to a court, you want to be heard, there's a fee that you pay.
Okay.
A modern court, there's a fee that you pay for you to be heard. So is that wrong?
Definitely not.
It might not be biblical. You might not find it somewhere in the Bible. But is it wrong in the general existence of mankind? Nothing is wrong. So we're not going to just paint with one brush to say it is cultural, so it is not biblical, or it is not related to Christianity.
Thank you for that one.
So,
So principally we are saying that there's nothing wrong with Christians paying lobola.
There's completely and absolutely nothing
beautiful
wrong.
Christians have heard that.
Yes.
There's nothing about Christians. So we don't want to see a situation where people are going to hide under the banner of Christianity to say, Christ. No,
Yes.
there's nothing bad about payment of lobola from the pastor's
Yes.
mouth.
Sure.
Pastor,
Sure.
what's your take on vabereki vanozoti mwana wavo afa vanga vasinga demand lobola yavo all this time when mwana wavo paanga ari mupenyu mwanasikana wavo vazocheka vozoti mwana hativigi?
Yes. Before we address those parents, let's address the man that has taken mwana wevaridzi and stays with that mwana for an extended period of time, getting to have children. They also get married. You are not considering going to say to pay something to your in-laws. We need to address you first before your wife dies. You know where there's a will, there's a way. You have not found it in you to get a token. Huh?
Okay.
Because I believe that culturally we get to understand. Because there's an adage that goes murombo munu.
Okay.
You know, it is coined to accept people that are poor in the society. You remain munu because you are still acting like a human amongst people, though you are poor. No, I'm only human. That's why I have come. I don't have enough. I don't have much. But I've come to notify you that I have your child.
Okay.
I intend to stay with her for life. But I still don't have much for now. This is the little that I have which you can hold on while I go to work. You know?
Interesting.
You know, from a Christian perspective, when Jacob went to Laban, the time that he wanted to marry the daughter, he didn't have anything. But they sat down and agreed, okay, I'll work. You work for a woman, I think 3 years would do. The Laban says, no, 3 years is too little for this one. This one is very beautiful. You will do 7. They agree. Okay, I'll work for you 7 years. There's no money. This man does not have anything. But he has the will to sit down with the in-laws, talk to them, get to a consensus. So there are isolated circumstances where the in-laws will say, you did not give us anything. Your wife has died. You are telling us that she has died. You are coming for the first time to tell us that she has died. We will give you this response. She's alive. Our daughter is alive. You know, I think those are isolated cases.
I see.
I would want us to highlight certain funerals where a woman dies and payment has not been done in full, but there is peace. Why? Because these people have stayed in peace. There was no money, but they would visit each other.
Okay.
They would honor their in-laws. That is what is necessary. Let's talk. Come, let's discuss. What do you have? I have very little. Yes, that very little means something to me. Let's do it. Let's do it together. So if you're a parent who consent and give you the child, his child, we are referring to the child, but I believe we understand that should be 18 plus. He gives you a child when you don't have money. There's no way he will come up and say, we are not burying the dead woman because you did not pay us something. Because we're in agreement. We agreed. You work, you come. You know, it's like when you are owing an institution some money and there's a payment plan.
I see.
Yes. They will not kill you where there's a payment plan. You don't have it all, but you said you are going to get so much every month for a period that is known. It is acceptable. But where then people stay with their wives and they disown their parents, they pay nothing, they don't even visit, they have no relationship. The day comes, they will come back to you and tell you that our daughter is alive. You know?
So you're saying it's permissible for the parents to demand lobola on before their deceased daughter is buried? I mean, Christian-wise, biblically, it's permissible.
Here, I don't think it's to do with Christianity or with whoever. It is specific to each family.
Well, the moral
it is
sense
specific to each family and to each situation. I'm a pastor. I wouldn't be on record doing that. I should have put enough effort talking to the in-laws.
Okay.
But I'm trying to also to influence fellow Christians that to think that because we are Christians we can stay we can stay in without paying.
Nima 15 years vangogara nemwana wevanhu
Achinamata.
vachitobvisa chegumi.
Yes, achitaura nendimi.
Nendimi
Achipledge.
vasina kubvisa.
Achibhadhara. But asingagoni kuti angoti chirega ndingonoonawo vabereki vangu. So vabereki vaye vakaona kuti ndo zviri kuita hausi kushayiwa but hauna chido. Vanotozongokupinda musi wacho. If they pin you isusu tiripo tinenge tichingoti ndedzemudanga regai dzimbopedzerana. Tozoita come in kana mapedzerana. You know, I think it's fair.
Vafundisi musadaro, you have to come in kana situation yadaro. Anyway, Pastor, thank you so much for that one. I've got another question. Maybe say.
Yes.
I don't know how to address that. Maybe you might need to influence. Pane vakwasha vano set a date. Then vo ghost.
Okay.
To ghost I mean kuti tiri kuya musi wa 12 December kuzorora. Vanhu vounganidza vanatete voungana majavha atovapo. They don't show up.
Yes.
How do we help such brothers?
Yes. The first thing I think that comes into play is the fact that some of these boys are pressured. Wakufana utorora, wakufana wakudidi, but the guy is not yet equipped to do so. Then he gives a date in the faith that he will get something. And if it doesn't come up, then artists are first of all because maybe mariacho inakwana. Ndoche kutanga. So the first advice in that circumstance that I give, don't commit to any date before you have gathered your what? Your resources. Yes. Even mariri ku bank check.
Ndenda tora loan.
Okay, kana watora loan isati approve mari isati yapinda mu account mako. There's no way uchati avabereki ini ndakutouya next week. Mari isati yapinda mu account. And zvinoitika zveshuwa kuti pane vamwe vanoti shamwari dzinomupromisa no this month and tiri kukupa iwo mari ndokupa mari or you go to marry come month and mukomana opinda paproblem kana asangana neproblem yake maybe afirwa iwo hauchakwanisi kunoita onachi what you have promised. But I'll also give the second advice. In such a circumstance, you have to liaise with your in-laws. Date riya ndikukumbira kuti tichinje. Something has come up. Pane kuti vana tete vauye kubva bindura.
Prior to the date,
prior to the date, no. Madarangu, pane challenge yaitika. Ndikukumbira to postpone. Tozotaurirana rimwe date kana zvinhu zvangu zvagadzirika. Pane kusiya vanhu vachiuraya huku dzavo, vanhu vachiuraya mbudzi dzavo, vanhu vachiuya nemari dzemabhazi one way, havana dzekudzokeresa. Vosvika vogara ipapo vobika zuva rose vachikumirira kuti you are coming and you don't show up. That's very disgraceful.
Very disgraceful.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Pastor. Audience iri kutsva.
Okay.
Audience iri kutsva.
Oh, yes.
They want to ask questions.
Okay.
Regai ndivape a minute to ask one or two questions.
Okay, thank you.
I'll leave this time to the floor.
Okay.
Hello, Pastor. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Buddha.
Okay.
So my question is this.
Pazanzi zvinoita kuti mukomana asina mwana orora musikana ane mwana kana kuti ane vana.
Okay. Yes. Mava mato iwedzera kuti ane vana.
Is it a safe game?
You know, I don't know why he's asking that question, but I'll say that let's come back to the law. The law, the New Marriage Act, it says to two people to get married, they must be 18 at least or more. Then also there must be full consent.
Of
The
two
two
parties.
should have full consent. They must really agree. They are not coerced. They are not forced. In other words, you are not manipulated to get into that marriage. So you must also do that freely. There's no rigging. No one comes to try and manipulate you. Why I'm saying this, it categorically states that at 18, somebody is an adult. He can make a critical decision. So the first answer lies with you as an individual, a mature individual.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the first thing.
Can I phrase it this way?
Okay.
Do you think it's a good idea or it's a bad idea?
Oh.
Besides the law, we understand the law is saying, but hear me. Would you do that if you were?
Okay. All right. Suppose I was a young man, not yet married. I would look at the person that I want to get married to. You know, there are forces that come when you are in love. Forces that are not explainable. You know what love does? Very few people understand it from outside. You know, when a young man is in love, you can hardly contribute to his choice or her choice. But what I'm trying to come up with here is where there is love, there's a way. Where there's a way, a will, there's a way. I'll also say where there's love, there's a way. If you decide that you are in love, and I recommend that when you are marrying someone, urukurora munhu warukuti hapana zvemumu wandanga ndichazoda. Ndokuti unyatsofila kuti now I'm in marriage. Ukatora munhu uchifila kuti but I think kuti this aspect I don't like it, you are most likely to raise it in future. Ndakangokutora iwe but wangotori mvana. But munhu kana
Wakuzoti handidi mwana wako pana.
Wakuzoti handidi mwana wako, wakuzoda kumuaccuse kuti wakajamba insati ndakuroora.
Ndakakuroora usiri mhandara.
Yes.
You have to be fully aware of that.
Yes.
And you consent to that.
And you consent to that. That's why I wanted to give it back to you. But there's nothing wrong with marrying somebody that you love. Background, I don't know. It can be buried. I'll tell you that this prophet marries a prostitute because there was a will in him. Hosea.
Goma.
Yes, he marries a prostitute because there was a will, because he spoke to his God. And his God told him, no, I think it's fine. They agreed. He goes there and everybody else is criticizing, but he knows why he's doing it. You know? So if the two of you are in love and are in agreement, you have done your homework, you've done your background checks, you are happy, there's nothing wrong. Yes, because there are also people, okay?
And the last question, is it allowed biblically? It's a mume, arole mkazi kwa mkazi mkuru, kuna shokoro chichi.
Okay.
Basa anzi munorora ere. Mukazi mukuru.
Mukuru kwari.
What's the setup? Is it always the case that murumana fanaita muombe kumkazi?
Okay.
What's your advice on that one?
All right. My advice also comes back to the issue of love. Do you love her? Mukuru, it's not a sin. Kuti mukuru kwauri. Because there are no such parameters as to do with age. Of course, people will tell you first was Adam, then Eve. People will say that. But it is not a principle to say because she's older than you with a day or a year or so, you shouldn't have taken her. My take is the priority in any relationship is the true love. If you are in love, I believe, and you are happy with that, I believe there's nothing wrong. Yes.
Thank you. I wouldn't want to run away a little bit from what we've been discussing.
Okay.
I know the questions are coming.
Yes.
I want to stick to Rora setup. I understand we were talking about Rora setup. I'm going to come with another edition where we're going to, I don't know if I'm going to invite you again,
Okay.
where we're going to discuss courtship and marriage.
Okay.
To say qualities to be sought on a prospective wife.
Okay.
But
oh, yes, that's a good one.
I'm going to bring to the pastor for that one.
Uh-huh.
But there's another question that has been raised. I think yawe yane our Facebook pedu.
Okay.
Irikuti. Vabereki, they tend kungochaja mari, but zimenguva mwana wacho inenge iri nzira yakafambwa kare.
Okay. Wow. So
arikuti vakomana vari kuchema, and that's the reason why probably they are shunning away from payment of lobola, because munhu anenge achitoziva kuti munhu akasitokewa.
Okay.
Akuzodzika moya kuchechi oda kuzotendeuka oda kuita holy sister. Then the pastors will say mwari vakaregerera nguva yekusaziva, but iri nzira yakafambwa. Tikanifamba naye mutauni vanenge vaitoziva kuti ninga akadyapa ape wakabhadhariswa mare rora. Pastor, what's your take on that one?
Okay. It will first of all answer the question that you previously asked, to say how would we marry our culture and Christianity.
Okay.
We'll come back to tell you that there are still cultures that value virginity. And some cultures have given up because people no longer want to be tracked. You know, you don't have to track me. I'm an adult now. But you know, why they valued virginity, why they valued purity, it's because they knew that these things will haunt some people in future. You know? As much as men would not talk about it at the time that they are in courtship, maybe they mention it and they don't take it seriously. They go down the lane of marriage. If something goes wrong, the man is quick to point out to the fact that iwe ndakuona iwe wakagara uri nzenza iwe. Zvino uri kutaura nevarume on Facebook and that and other platforms. It's because hauna kuzvitanga nhasi. Ndakakuwana wakadaro. Wanga uri benzi.
Okay.
You know? So our culture was good at grooming our children. Our children would be well groomed. The girl child would be well groomed. Could you preserve yourself for your husband?
Oh, I see.
You don't jump around and go all the while and come back. You know, they valued that to the extent that at marriage, a man would have to prove to the parents that indeed I found this woman a virgin.
Okay.
You know, women don't like it anymore. They consider it an oppressive kind of, aspect of culture. Then setting it aside, we don't have it anymore. But why don't you walk properly? Why don't you do the right thing? Okay. So if then the young man is going to raise this point to say, ndakamwana jamba atenderera anga chimboenda pa touchline azodidi saka why charge me more? That doesn't count. That doesn't count because you knew very well what you are taking home.
Touch is a move.
Yes, touch is a move. You know, you knew that is why you have that information. Angari murodi amanya stereki wamutora uchimuda iye akadaro. Saka why raise it panyaya dzekuzobhadhara? You are simply running away from responsibility. Kana akamhanya ukatoona kuti munhu ari kumhanya haasiye the rightful partner to have, leave there. Wotsvaga the rightful person. Ove naye. And also, people object to marrying early. But I think the earlier the better, Sekuru. Mzukuru wangu.
I was actually coming to that, Pastor. Maybe let me just ask that question. Maybe you might answer it.
Okay, yes.
Kuti vabereki vanofanira kutambira roora yemukwasha ane makore mangana?
Alright. Tombotanga kumutemo handiti. Mutemo kana wauya wauri kubata zvese across the board. Because ndo watiri kurarama. Mutemo uri kuti 18 years. Two parties must be 18 years. A parent who promotes, who coerces, who tries to force or do any other means to make people marry before they are 18, it becomes a criminal offense. So you not take lobola from a young man who is under 18. 18 plus, it's permissible. Because we believe that at 18 somebody is an adult. Of course, young men have more time. They need more time to work and gather enough resources for them to be prepared for marriage. So we might not limit them in terms of age, but as long as they feel mature and they also have the resources to sustain a family, I think that's fair.
Okay. So mna 18 years akanyesa kutouya, an 18-year-old boy comes and say ndauda kuroora mwana wenyu.
Yes, but tichida kubvunzana kuti ari kuroora munhu ane makore mangani?
Ane 18 wo.
Yes, saka vatu vari kuda kuroorana vari at 18 vachiwirirana, and you also vet, because panomboita kamwe kachallenge kekuti kana vachiita sekuti vachiri vadiki. That's why the law raised from 16 to 18. There are no those legal provisions that said at 16 a young lady can be married. They are no longer in force. It was raised to 18, so that at least somebody matures and makes a decision that he or she doesn't regret. But we're saying maybe starting from 18, it makes sense. It makes sense. Though, of course, when they are at the same age, they develop differently, physically. But I think there's no problem in that.
Okay. Pastor, our lobola ceremonies have been westernized. I don't know if to say it's Western culture that is tripping in, or it's more to do with copying other civilization, maybe from our own region, that is Africa.
Okay.
We see they coming in with Java. We see now a photo shoot. It's becoming even more. It's more of a wedding, Muswacho.
Right.
Are we not having a situation whereby our lobola ceremonies are being westernized, or they are being, probably there's a acculturation that is taking place?
Okay. Yes. Defining culture on its own, culture is to do with the way of life, people's behavior, people's materials that they use at that time. So, sure, culture is not static. It is dynamic. It continues to change with time. From Iron Age to other ages until we get here. We started from Stone Age, is it? Stone Age, Iron Age, until to date. Things are changing. What might not have to change are the values that we have. But the cultural materials and setups, they keep changing because we're appreciating that things
Culture
are
is dynamic.
Yes.
I see.
Things are happening.
My last question to you is maybe the second from last.
Okay.
Should a Christian parent refuse to accept bride price from a non-Christian boy?
Okay. First of all, I want to say, when people get married, it's good to look at backgrounds. Someone is a Muslim, the other one is a Christian. Are you guys going to mix very well? Consider that.
Do not be unequally yoked.
Yes, Christians quickly point out to the point that you must not be unequally yoked. Yes, but it is not right for a parent to refuse, because you don't know when this one will repent and become a Christian, or even better Christian than you. So I think we have to consider that we are all human. When we have people have agreed and they love each other, we don't then say, I'm not going to take any lobola.
Thank you, Shumba. Where do you see the future of Rora? Is it going to be preserved, or the Rora payment is going to vanish with time?
As long as there are people that have a sound mind, which preserve their culture, as well as preserve the values of maybe Christian values, Rora will continue to abide. I don't see a position where people will then eradicate it completely. I realize that the young men, they do not have children yet. So at this point, they are objecting to Rora. But the time that they become fathers, they also want to become in-laws. They also like the Rora. So it will continue.
Thank you so much, Sipa's family. It's been a very wonderful time discussing na sekuru wangu, sekuru maita basa.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having you. Tadzidza zvakawanda. I believe viewers, we have learned a lot from sekuru wangu, and that is Pastor Nduku. All the way for Harvest Church, Varipano, to talk to us. He has been with us discussing Rora. It's been a wonderful time having you around. Sippers family, let's meet in the next edition. Thank you.